and looking down at your feet, just to get your bearings. Tell me, do you have any feet there at all? Can you see anything?
Yeah.
So, do you have anything on your feet?
Yeah, sandals.
Sandals. And as you look down at those feet, tell me, do you sense that they're male or female feet?
I think they're men's.
Well, in this very special place where we are now, we can manifest anything. And what I want to do is I want to manifest a spiritual mirror that I'm going to place in front of you. And when I give you the instruction, I want you to look up into that mirror, and with every breath that you take and every word that you hear from me, the image that you see before you will become clearer and clearer until you can totally see your image in that mirror, and you'll be able to describe yourself to me. So when you're ready, 3, calling on that spiritual mirror now to come down before you. 2, I'm placing it in front of you now, and 1. So what I want you to do now is I want you to look up now, and for each and every breath that you take and every word that I speak to you, see the image in that mirror getting clearer and clearer until you can see clearly the image of yourself, and describe yourself to me.
Got a beard. Dark hair.
Dark hair.
Is
it long or short?
Sort of shortish.
And describe to me the clothes that you're wearing. Do you have a hat or a coat?
Oh, it's like a funny sort of linen-y, tunic-y thing.
A linen tunic. And what are you wearing on your legs?
Nothing, just bare legs.
And as you look at yourself in the mirror, you'll just have a knowing of what age you are. What do you imagine your age to be?
I'm 30.
You're 30 years old. If you're 30 years old, you'll know what people call you in that life. What's your name?
Pedro.
Pedro. Good afternoon, Pedro. Thank you for coming forward and sharing your past life memory with us. Pedro, I want you to take a look around where you are. So just look to the left and the right. And tell me, is it day or night where you are, Pedro?
It's daytime.
It's daytime. And as you look around, describe your landscape to me.
Such a rocky hillside.
A rocky hillside? Pedro, tell me, what country are you in? What's your first impression? What springs to mind?
Could be Spain or something like that.
So you're in Spain, on the Rocky Hills. Well, I want you to take a walk around, and as you're walking around and getting familiar, every step that you take, Pedro, you'll be fitting into that past life memory, and all the memories will come flooding back. And as you're walking around, tell me, what are you doing up there? Are you working up there, or have you gone for a walk?
I'm looking after some goats and sheep.
Goats and sheep. So are you a herdsman?
Yeah.
And do you live with these goats and sheep up in the hills, or do you just take them there?
You move them around on the hill.
Tell me, Pedro, do you have any family in that life?
No.
You have no family? Do you have no parents?
They're dead.
Your parents are dead. What happened to your parents, Pedro?
I just got sick and died.
So who helped bring you up then, Pedro?
They brought me up.
They brought you up? How old were they when you died? How old were you when they died?
25.
You were 25 when they died. And so you have no brothers or sisters? Connect with that thought. Do you have any brothers or sisters, Pedro?
Yes, Sister Maria.
Sister Maria? So where is Sister Maria?
She's down in the village.
How old is your sister, Pedro?
16.
What does your sister do there in the village?
She works cleaning.
So what I want you to do is I want you to see the image of your sister in front of you, so you can describe her to me. What colour is her hair there, Pedro?
Dark brown.
Dark brown hair. Is it long or short?
Shoulder length.
And look into her eyes. Tell me, what are the colour of her eyes?
Brown.
Brown eyes. And I want you to continue to look into those eyes, Pedro, because the eyes are the windows to the soul. And as you look deeper and deeper into those eyes, you're going to be able to connect with the soul of Maria. So you're going to be able to tell me whether or not Maria is in your life today. So look deep into those eyes and tell me, is Maria in your life today? Who is she?
She's my daughter, Saskia.
Your daughter Saskia today. How wonderful. So Pedro, what I want to do now is, now that we've got enough information, I want to close that scene, but I want us to stay in the same timeline. So just close that scene as if you're flicking the switch of a remote control, and allow your mind to drift and wander. So when you're ready, drifting and floating through time and space. And when I count down from 3 to 1, we're going to move forward in the same life to another significant time when something is happening to you. So 3, drifting and floating through time to your memories. 2, to another important time, and 1. Be there now. How old are you now, Pedro?
49.
You're 49. So why have you brought me to this scene, Pedro? What's so important about this particular scene? Are you on your own?
Friends around me and some family.
Friends and family. So is there a celebration going on there, Pedro?
It's just like a meeting.
A meeting. So I want you to magnify that meeting so you can hear clearly what this meeting is all about. Is this meeting being taken inside or outside?
Outside.
Inside. How many people are at this meeting, Pedro?
There's about 5.
5. So what is this meeting all about? Who's in charge of this meeting?
A man from the village.
And what is he saying to you all?
Saying we have to move somewhere else.
Why do you have to move?
There's no food there.
There's no food. So tell me, Pedro, what year is it there? Just see the numbers come to mind as I speak to you. What numbers do you see?
1870 something. 1873.
1873. And you say you live in Spain. Do you live in the north, the south, the east or the west? Whereabouts do you live?
Murcia.
Murcia. Mm-hmm. And are you all in agreement that you move?
Mm.
Yes.
We don't know where to go.
So as you hear him and continue to listen to what he's saying, where in the end is it suggested that you go?
Down along the... Further on down.
You go down? Is that to the sea?
Down towards the coast.
To the coast.
From the mountains.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to fast forward now and see yourself making your way down to the coast. How many people are there in your group that are making their way down to the coast?
Just 5.
There's just 5 of you?
Mm.
And do you get to the end? Do you get to the coast there?
Yeah.
And how are you greeted by the people? See yourself as you get towards the coast. How do people greet you there? Are they welcoming you?
A bit suspicious.
People are suspicious. Mm-hmm. Do they provide you with food and water?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do you stay in that place there, Pedro?
Yeah.
And what is it that you do in that place? See yourself working, using what it is that you do to work, and tell me, what is it that you do?
Have to build a house to live
You're building a house to live in?
in.
Is that for all 5 of you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, Pedro, you're 49 years old. Do you have a lady friend there?
No.
No. These 5 people that you have travelled with, are they all male or female or a mix?
They're mixed.
They're mixed. And as you look around this group of these 5 people, tell me, which person in that group are you pulled to more than the most?
Yes, Maria. I have to look after Maria.
Oh, Maria is... She came with you? Mm-hmm. So what I want you to do now, Pedro, is I want you to close that scene. I want you to close that scene as if you're flicking the switch of a remote control. Very good. And we're going to move forward now in the same timeline. And what I want you to do is I want you to go towards the last day of Pedro in that life, so that we can find out what is happening. So when you're ready, just closing that scene now, drifting and floating forwards. And I'm going to count down from 3 to 1, and when I get to 1, I want you to be at the last day of the life of Pedro, so we can evaluate his achievements in that life. So when you're ready, 3, drifting and floating forward now. 2, making your way to the last day of that life, totally detached from any pain, fear or emotion. And 1. How old are you now, Pedro?
51.
51. Pedro, that's a very young age to die. Are you ill?
I've injured my
You've injured your leg. How did you injure your leg, Pedro? Describe to me what happened.
I had an accident with the tools and fell down.
Accident with the tools and you fell down? So are you telling me that it's infected? I see.
Yeah.
And as you're now on the last day of your life, tell me, are you inside or are you outside?
I'm inside.
You're inside. Is there anybody else there with you there, Pedro?
Maria.
Maria. How wonderful. Well, knowing that it's the last day of your life and that Maria is there to comfort you, Pedro, I want us to follow on our journey now so that we can make our way to the soul group. So I want you to take a nice deep breath, Pedro. Very good. And feel you taking your soul out of that body. So it's just above the body there. And as you look down at Pedro, the person that he was, tell me, how do you feel that that life was for you? Did you achieve everything you wanted to achieve?
No.
What was the purpose of that life there?
To grow.
To grow. I see. And now we've come to the end of that life. It's usual for someone or something to come to collect you, to take you home, wherever home is for you. So as I continue to talk, I want you to turn your head towards the sky, Pedro. And perhaps you notice something coming towards you, and the more I talk, the clearer and clearer the image comes before you, until you can see quite clearly in front of you what it is that's come to collect you. So tell me, what do you see in front of you there, Pedro?
It's my father.
Your father? Is that your father from that life?
Yeah.
I want you to step towards your father, Pedro, and take his hand. And then I want you to step a little closer to your father, Pedro, and I want you to take his other hand until you both can feel yourself connecting and merging as one. And as you do this and feel each other's energy, you'll be able to telepathically communicate with your father. What is he saying to you, Pedro?
He's saying, come with me.
Come with me. Very good. So let's just do that. I'd like permission to come with you now as your father takes you up towards your soul family. So with that in mind, just allow yourself to go with your father and his energy up and up and up, drifting and floating, up and up and up. And what we want to do is we want to go towards your soul family, your soul group. So I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and when I get to 1, we're going to be at the door of your soul group. So you're going to be standing in front of a door. So when you're ready, 3, just drifting and floating up, 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 up. 2, getting stronger and stronger. The pull towards the door of your soul group. And 1. Be there now. So this door that you're in front of, describe it to me. What does it look like?
Wooden with like a carved serpenty thing on it.
Carved serpent door. So is it wooden?
Yeah.
And tell me, Pedro, do you push that door open or do you pull it to open it?
Pull it.
You pull it. I want you to see yourself now stepping forwards with your raised arm towards the handle, and see yourself beginning to pull that door open. And when you've pulled that door open enough that you can step into with your guides and your father, I want you to step through that door. And as you step through that door, you'll be stepping into your soul group to visit your soul family. So take a look around, Pedro, and describe to me, what does your soul group look like? Where are you?
It's like a sort of chamber.
It's a chamber.
Mm.
Is it a dark chamber or is it a lit chamber?
It's like got glowy light in it.
It's got light in it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you begin to get used to the light there, I want you to glance around, Pedro, and tell me, do you see any of your soul members in there, in that chamber, or is it just you?
It's like funny entity things.
Funny entities?
Mm.
Describe these entities to me. How many entities do you see?
Oh, I think it's 3.
There's 3. Do they have a colour, these entities, Pedro? Adjust your eyes.
Yes. One's brown, one's green, and one's white.
Brown, green and white.
Mm.
Well, I want you to turn up the light in there so that you can see them clearly. And I want you to connect with them individually and tell me, is there a significance about the colour of these entities?
It's just the way they are.
It's just the way they are. And if those entities are part of your soul group, as you communicate with them now and you connect with their energy and their vibration, tell me, what are they saying to you? What message do they give?
They just want me to be calm and happy and peaceful.
Be calm and happy. Tell me, Pedro, are you also an entity when you go back to spirit, or are you something else?
I'm like a mixture of forms.
You're a mixture of forms. And when you're in spirit as a mixture of forms, what is it that you do there, Pedro?
Try to decide what's best for next time.
Oh, you try to decide what's best for next time. I see. And do these entities have any other message apart from be calm and be happy? Where do these entities come from?
Not from this earth.
So they're from another planet?
I think they're from different planets.
From different planets. So have they come to work with you or work on you?
Yeah, they're helping me.
They're helping you. I see. So now that we've got that information, I want to ask you, how do these entities travel from one place to the next?
They just go by thought.
They go by thought. Very good. So now I want to come to the end of this part of the session. So as you close the scene to the soul realm, I'd like to ask permission to speak with your inner self so that we can do the healing part of the session and gain release, guidance and closure for you. So close that scene now as if you're flicking the switch of a remote control and allow your mind to drift and wander. As you take a few nice deep breaths, and as you're taking those breaths, I want you to know that you're connecting with your inner self, and I'd like your inner self, your subconscious mind, to come forward and work with me today. So what I want you to do now is I want you to take a nice deep breath in. Very good. And step away from the body to allow your inner self to come forward and use your voice for me today. Good afternoon, inner self.
No.
Inner self. Are you male or female or no form?
Female.
You're female. Do you have a name, inner self? What can I call you today?
Mara.
Mara. Good afternoon, Mara. Thank you for coming forward and working with me today. Mara, can you tell me, have you had many lives with my client?
3.
You've had 3 lives. And what is it that you're working on with her, Mara?
Learning to love herself.
To love herself. How is she doing with that? Is she getting better and stronger?
She's trying.
She's trying. So Mara, what I want to do now is, we've hit the healing part of the session. I'd like to do a body scan with you, as you've been with them for many, many years and you know every thought and every memory and every cell of this body. I want us to start at the top of the body, and as if this body is a body of light, I want us to scan from the top all the way down to the bottom to see if there's any negative energy or any dullness or any memories that no longer serve that we can work on today. So let's start at the top of the head, and I want you to go into that scalp there now, Mara. That's very good. Go around that head. Wonderful. Down the sides of the face and the jaw, around the neck area, and across the shoulders. Very good. Down the arms to the hands and the fingertips, all the way back up and around the torso, into the heart area. And let's just scan down the tummy, on those hips, around those thighs and the knees, all the way down the shins, to the ankles, to the toes. And to make sure we haven't missed anything, we'll go from the toes all the way up, 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 the shins and the knees, up the thighs to the tummy area, all the way back to the top of the head. And Mara, tell me, is there anything that we can work on today in the body?
Head and the heart.
The head and the heart. So we'll start with the head first. Is it at the front, the back, or the side?
The back and the sides.
It's the back and the sides of the head. But tell me, does this energy have a colour?
Silvery.
It's a silvery colour. Okay, so I'm going to be coming to work with you on that now. So as I place my hand on the back of your head, I'm going to connect with that energy. And as all energy is consciousness, I want that energy to have a voice today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that energy towards the throat so it can speak to me and tell me what's going on. So when you're ready, bring it round and round and round. Energy, talk to me and tell me, what are you doing there?
Restricting.
Strict?
Restricting.
Restricting. Tell me, is this a memory, or do you have a name?
Let's just make it tight.
You make it tight. Why do you make it tight?
It stops it growing.
Stops her growing. I see. So what's your name then? What can I call you?
Eng.
What's your name?
Eng.
Eng. And what are you, Eng? Are you male or female or something else?
Male.
You're a male. So how long have you been there, Eng?
Long time.
So why did you sneak into my client's body then?
I just wanted to stay
You just wanted to stay there? Are you from a past life memory, or did you just sneak in?
there. I sneaked in.
You sneaked in. You sneaked in a couple of lifetimes ago?
Yeah.
And what symptoms do you cause her?
Just confusion.
Confusion. So you're not really doing her any good, are you, Ang?
No.
So are you ready now to release yourself back to spirit, Ang?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to step forward now. And I want to place my hand at the back of the head. And what I want you to do now is, I want you to go inside of the head there. And I want you to begin to pull all the roots and the memories that you've placed in this head. Begin to pull them all up. See yourself now tugging away at those cords and those ties, gathering them all up. It's all your luggage. It's time to go home. And I want you to place them into my hand. Very good. It's making my hand tingle now. That's right. There's a few more. I know there's a few more. Go in deeper and going even deeper. That's right. Are they all in my hand now?
No.
So I want you to go guided by Archangel Michael and his sword. Archangel Michael, shine your light into the head here to allow Ang to follow the path and the route of all his memories. And as the light shines on these roots and these memories, it lifts them out of the head and draws them to my hand. Are we ready now, Ang?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to take that energy from you, Ang, and I'm going to offer you up to the universe so that you can be restored and replenished. So tell me, Mara, now that anger's been removed, what can we replace into the back of the head to heal this head? Do we have a colour or a word?
It's warm. Warm light.
Warm light. So as I place my hand on the back of the head, I'd like Archangel Zadkiel to come forward now. And as he comes forward, I want him to bring the energy of the setting sun. And I want him to roll that up into an energy ball and place it on my hand. And as I continue to talk now, that energy ball of the setting sun will be drifting and floating towards the back of your head, going in through every muscle fibre of your body. And I want you to feel the warmth of that setting sun as it sinks down into those roots, healing the hurt and the pain that has been caused, enriching those parts and sealing those roots never to be opened again, filling you up and up and up with that wonderful, vibrant, warm, orange energy. And I'm going to tap you on the forehead and seal that in. So tell me now, Mara, you were telling me that it was the head, and what else was it in the body?
Your heart.
In her heart. What's going on in the heart area, Mara?
No, it's dirty.
It's dirty. So I'm going to place my hand here. Oh. I'm going to place my hand here and I'm going to connect with that energy. going to draw that energy into my hand. It's very sluggish energy, isn't it?
Mm.
And I want this energy to have a voice, so I'm going to bring this energy up to the throat, Mara, so it can work with me. So I'm going to bring it up, 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 up. Energy, talk to me. What are you doing there in the heart area?
Just stagnating.
Stagnating. How long have you been stagnating there?
Long time.
Long time. Is this a memory from a past life memory, or do you have a name?
It's hurt.
It's hurt. Where is this hurt from? I want you to connect with that thought. Is it from this life, or is it from a past life memory?
To all the people in all the lives, I think.
To other people in other lives? Well, let's go back now. I want you to choose one of those people now. So I want you to just allow your mind to drift and wander. Connect with that heart emotion now. And as you drift and wander, I want you now to begin to follow the timeline to one of those past lives, one of those past life memories that injured your heart. 3, travelling there now. 2, getting closer and closer. And 1, be there now. And tell me, are you male or female in that life?
Female.
You're female. What happened to you in that life that made you feel so sad?
You left me.
He left you. Who's he? Is it your boyfriend?
Yeah, my mother left me.
Your mother left you? And how did you survive in that life?
I didn't. I died very early.
You died early. Well, your mother probably did her best, but bringing the memory forward isn't helping today, is it? What symptoms does this feeling and this memory cause in the heart?
I'm scared of being abandoned.
You're scared of being abandoned. So you're not doing any good, are you? Keeping hold of that memory that happened in a life long, long ago. So, inner self, can I ask you, is my client ready to release and forgive?
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm going to place my hand here. Very good. And I'm going to ask you to go in there now and begin to draw out all that sadness in the heart. That's right, I can feel it coming into my hand. It's a heavy amount. Feel those emotions coming forward. It's time to let go and go back to spirit. And just draw them into my hand and tell me, have I got it all now?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to take that away from you, and I'll ask Goddess Isis to come down to deliver that up to spirit, and may the light of the universe always accompany it. Mara, now we've released all that sadness and that feeling of abandonment in the heart. What can we do to help her? What can we put in her heart to help her?
Emerald.
Emerald. So as I place my hand on the heart, I'm calling on Archangel Raphael with his beautiful green ray to come down with the deepest, richest emeralds from the centre of the crystal chambers. And as he draws closer and closer, you're going to be able to feel the presence of that crystal energy. And now as he stands before us, I'm going to ask him that he places that crystal essence, that energy, into your heart. Just see it as a liquid energy colour beginning to pour into your heart And as it pours into your heart, it seals all those cracks, all those tears, all those memories. It soothes all your pain. It replenishes your heart and makes it whole again, so it can beat with love and joy, and you'll no longer have the feeling of abandonment. And I'm going to tap you on the forehead and seal that in. Tell me, Mara, have we worked enough on the body today, or is there anything else? Just take another look around. I don't want to leave anything if there's anything there. Just scan the body one more time. Or are we ready for the questions?
Yeah.
So, Mara, what I want to ask is, why is my client so hard on herself?
She doesn't learn to love herself.
She needs to learn to love herself. And how is she doing now? Take a look at her body and tell me, is she more balanced now?
Yeah.
Take a look inside that head and tell me, how is her mental state there now? Does it look more balanced?
Yeah, settling down.
It's settling down. What message do you want to give her about learning to love herself? What does she need to do to love herself? There's many ways to do that.
Just trust.
Just trust? Trust herself?
Trust life.
Trust life. Thank you. And we had a question about libido. Mara, tell me what's going on there. What's happening there?
She doesn't need it anymore.
She doesn't need it anymore. So what is this going to be replaced with?
Just learn to love herself.
To love herself. I see. So, and that's the message, is to love herself. And can I ask you about Astra? What's the situation with the relationship there?
They're growing together.
They're growing together. Do you have a message for her to explain in detail anymore?
She came to help me learn.
She came to help you learn. I see. I'll be sure to tell her about that. We also have a question about relationships on a male front. What's going to be happening there?
Somebody might come.
Somebody might come.
She doesn't want anything.
She doesn't want it. Tell me, if this person does come, how will she recognise them?
They come and I don't know.
When is this person likely to come in the life? I know that you don't do time in your life, but it's important for us. Is it going to be this year or next year or the year after or next week?
She's 60.
When she's 60. And I'd like you to answer me the question that she's put forward to me about her feeling depressed and feeling stuck. What is the reason for this, Mara?
Just energy blocks.
Energy blocks. Have we released those energy blocks today, Maura? Go scan the body and tell me. Scan from the top to the bottom.
There's just some little blocks left.
Where are these little blocks? I don't like leaving anything in the body. Describe to me where they are.
In the tummy.
In the tummy area. Is it in the centre, the left or the right?
It's in the middle.
In the middle. So as I collect the energy now from the centre of the tummy, I place my hand here and I'm calling on that energy now that no longer serves my client to be drawn into my hand. Very good, I can feel it coming. Archangel Michael, I want you to put your sword of light into this tummy area. Shine your sword of light and go in there now and start sweeping up this energy, bringing that energy into my hand. Maura, how am I doing? Have I got that energy in my hand?
It's coming.
Very good, Archangel Michael. I want you to magnify that light, and the lighter and lighter and brighter it is in there, the harder it is for that negative energy to hold on to anything in that tummy anymore. In fact, it's so weak now. The only thing left for it to do is to drift up and up and up and up into my hand. Very good. Have I got it all now?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to remove that from you and I'm offering that up to Spirit for them to collect and restore that. And I'm going to be placing in here now the love of Goddess Isis. And as I continue to place the love of Goddess Isis in there, I want you to feel the liquid colour of a beautiful velvet rose, pouring the richness and the love, the joy, the relaxation and the confidence. Keep pouring it in to the tummy area, filling up the area that was full of those negative forces, filling it up so much that nothing now can penetrate there. Very good. And I'm going to tap you on the forehead and seal that in. And can I ask you, Maura, we've got one more question. Why is she so hard on herself?
It's just her way.
Is her way working, Maura?
No.
So what would you like to say to her?
It's time to change.
Time to change. Time to change. It's an easy word to say, but it's not so easy to do. How could she change her situation? How could she change the way she thinks? What does she need to do?
Just be kind and gentle with herself.
And gentle to herself. Cara, we've come to the end of our session now. Is there anything that I should have asked or ought to have asked before we leave?
No.
Do you have a message either for my client or myself before we leave, before we come back?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Maura, for working with us today. But I'd like you now to know that we've come to the end of this session. So, Maura, take a nice deep breath in. Step away from my client now. And as I ask my client to draw back into her body, feel her circulation going in deep, deep in her arms, feeling her tummy and her legs. Nice and steady breathing, sensing her coming back into this room, knowing that she's been on an amazing journey. And she's going to remember everything she needs to remember, and she'll disregard the rest. So when you're ready, and only when you're ready, come back into the room feeling alive and refreshed.
Mm. Mm.
Sounds like you're being pretty rough on yourself.
I feel good. I feel better.
I
feel better. A lot of stuff went out from here and here.
Yeah, very good.
It felt like a big, horrible, tight band. And then it all just went. That was nice. And then
that was actually an attachment that was at the back of your head.
Yeah, it wasn't nice. I didn't like it. It was like metal sticking on my brain. It felt like a belt around my brain hanging on.
Yeah, it gave you headaches as well, didn't it? You said it was silvery, and the fact that you've just said it was metal now kind of coincided. It was restricting you. It was there to stop you from growing.
Oh, good. So I can bugger off.
So how do you feel that it went?
Oh, it's nice. It's nice. It wasn't what I expected. I wanted all dramas and Egyptians and wanted all cosmic stuff. I don't think it was very cosmic, but it was simple. Lives, I think other lives were much more simple. They seem more simple.
It's the one that you needed to discover.
Yeah.
The energies that were no longer served you in your body. Perhaps you'll go to the Egyptian life at another time.
Maybe I wasn't an Egyptian. I just,
Yeah.
I would have. I like the idea of just all the history being in history somewhere and having an adventure.
To be a king or a queen or
just an
a Red
adventure,
Indian.
just to look around and know that you're in another time would be incredible.
You actually looked after your sister Maria in that life.
Yeah, she was Saskia, my youngest.
Can you see how we have this role play?
It's weird.
And we bring people
the
in.
eyes.
Yeah, we bring people in that are going to best serve us in this life. And so she's come to help you, and your other daughter has come to assist you as well. You made a contract to work with each other. Well, I know that you lived a very lonely life as Pedro, tending sheep and then having to move because there was no food. But you did build a house. You did look after everybody. And in this life, you've got family. You've got so much more than Pedro.
Yeah.
And your questions, you must learn to love yourself. That was one of the questions. And with regards to relationships, you don't need relationships anymore. It's a time for you to love yourself. And with your other daughter, it's a lesson that you chose to grow together. You came to help each other. If you choose, apparently when you're 60, someone will come. So I don't know when that time is.
It's 8 years, yeah? Oh, God, I've got 8 years of learning to love myself. Well, it probably will take that long. I'm not a very fast learner.
Well, it's not. It's not just about the learning. We have to learn the journey, then we have to digest it, and then we have to value it.
Yeah.
So there's 3 parts to a journey. Now, we cleared the energy in the back of the head, which was an attachment. You had a lot of sadness from a past life in your heart where your mother died. You had abandonment issues. Well, we've released that. And I did ask if we'd released, all the negative energy from your body, but there was a little bit sneaking around here in the tummy area. And that was what we took time to get rid of. Where you say that you got a lot of stuff out your head and your tummy. Did you feel...
Yeah, definitely.
It out?
Definitely. It was like black, murky, gunky stuff that was just all settled. And
And we filled, I can't remember what we filled that with. We would have filled that, we filled that with the rose, the wonderful rose.
Lovely.
The message quite clearly in every answer that you've given is to be kind to yourself. So it's all about you now.
Makes sense, doesn't it, I suppose?
So how long do you think that this journey's taken? How long do you think you've been under?
God. How long was this session in time? No, how long was what?
How long do you feel that you've been under?
Oh, God. 20 minutes.
20 minutes. You've been talking to me for an hour, so you've been under for an hour and a half.
God.
Yeah.
Sorry. It goes on, doesn't it?
Well, this is why I record it,
Oh,
because I think it's
yeah.
important for you to have
Yeah.
all the information that's come from you.
Thank you.
All I say is, where are you? You know, describe to me.
Yeah.
You're the one. I facilitate. I open the door. You're the one that tells your own story. So it's you don't have to believe in me. It's you believing in you. So are you going to love yourself a bit more now?
I'm going to try. I think it will be easier to do it. I don't feel so blocked up, and I think if that's my mission, I've got to do it. However,
Well, we've cleared the blockages.
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
nothing stopping me now.
You probably sleep well tonight.
Yeah,
I should take
better.
a photograph of somebody's face before and after, because after it's just so calm and relaxed. You know, all the tension has been removed.
Well, you did that. You did that. Taking me down by the river.
Yeah, it was your journey.
Oh, thank you.